Men of Reddit, what's something that women will never understand? We can hang out with our buddy all day and not ask any questions about their personal life. We can see the signals that you're trying to give us when you're trying to flirt. The issue isn't that we are blind or oblivious. The issue is that we aren't sure whether we are interpreting the signals correctly. We don't want to be that guy who makes a move on a girl because we thought she was flirting with us, but she was actually just being nice. This goes double if you were someone we knew in a non-romantic capacity, that is, friend, co-worker, etc. If you're interested in us, just be the one to initiate and tell us straight up that you're interested. Some women do, but most will never understand the feeling when you cut your hair short and you keep dragging your hand up the back of your head because it feels like a hedgehog. However disappointed you are when we can't get it up or keep it up is 100 times less than the disappointment we feel. We care about you way more than you think. My 22-year-old daughter had been seeing a guy for a few months, but then noticed after a while he seemed a little distant. She asked my advice and said she thought she just needed to get out of her own head. I suggested she casually bring up the subject and see what he says. I also suggested she be intentional about making him feel safe. If he knows you can handle any bad news, he is likely to be more forthcoming. My daughter followed my advice. Turns out he thinks she's amazing, but really doesn't see them staying together long term because he does care about her. He was terrified to let her know what he had been feeling. I told my daughter that, while I was sorry the relationship did not go the way she would have liked, I was really proud of her for making the guy feel safe and for having the courage to bring up the issue with him. Ending the relationship off on good terms is better than ending it rocky, and communication helps with that. Communication also helps with keeping the relationship healthy, so good on her and the boyfriend. It's a valuable skill and comfortable memory. Also, many times guys feel like that it ends up being due to themselves and not the women, which is why communication is so helpful. The pressure of being expected by society to be the initiator and pursuer in any romantic situation. If you're not good at this and struggle to learn how, you are likely to starve, metaphorically speaking, and live a life of solitude. By contrast, women are more likely to be hit on or approached even if they are shy, which has its own problems, obviously, but women will never understand this specific feeling of pressure. I spoke with my brother over the phone. I'll be asked questions about him. What's he doing nowadays? How is he? Does he have plans this weekend? My answer: IDK. We didn't talk about that. What did y'all talk about? Nothing, lol. When you ask what I'm thinking about, and I say nothing, I mean it. There was literally not a single thought going on in my head at that moment. I straight up had my brain in standby up until the moment you asked what are you thinking about. Women I've talked to don't seem to understand that, but the men do. I realize that this is a generalization and that exceptions likely exist, but in my own experiences that's what I've found. Here's one I noticed in my adventures in bouncing. Most men really don't want to fight. They'll say they do. They'll act like they do, but deep down most men are afraid to engage in physical confrontation. Not because they are afraid of getting hurt, more that they are afraid of being embarrassed. That's why you see a 120 pounds girl able to push her 200 pounds boyfriend back while he's telling the other guy you don't know who you're messing with. Two 200 pounds men fighting, I could get them apart like nothing. However, two 120 pounds girls going at it, screw it, call for help. Lol, this definitely held true back in high school too. The guys may exchange a few blows, but it was always more crowd hype. They'd get broken up quick and easy, before teachers/security could even get there. The girls punched the teachers who tried to break them up. One needed stitches from a girl's ring. You could always tell when there was a recent fight, when the tumbler webs would roll by in the wind. Sometimes we want to just simply be alone. It doesn't mean we don't love you or like you, we promise. I desperately want to go to my family's beach house for a do nothing, think of nothing, care about nothing retreat from society for a few days, but no, my wife wants to go and do things and gets upset if I even bring it up. But then, suddenly, if I say okay, let's go together, suddenly we don't have enough money. Like, I could literally go with a loaf of bread, some cheese, lunch meat, mayo, chips, and drinks, maybe some simple meal stuff too, and be perfectly happy. But she wants to go do touristy stuff and eat out for every meal, like it's some glamorous vacation. Not to mention our 2 dogs. She has a sister that lives within walking distance from us, but every time I want to go somewhere, it's who will take care of the dogs. Like God, just let me be at peace with myself for once in a long while. If we say we are doing nothing, nothing is not a void waiting to be filled. Nothing is the activity and we love doing it. Also, if you think we don't listen, there's a damn good chance that you were ambiguous in what you said. We heard the words you actually said, but you failed to convey to us what you actually meant to convey. The way men are portrayed in romantic comedies is nothing like real life. Ignoring a guy and making him frustrated to the point where he chases you down and forces you to love him is actually a crime. That a lot of us men are emotional people, but we often don't show it. The emotional struggle that we sometimes go through is really difficult, especially when we can't vent. We don't speak with hints. We are very direct. If you want something, come right out and say so. And the direct part is also in relation to answers in regards to problems. We can listen, but often we want to help the other female person or partner, but often the partner does not want any solution. They just want to talk about it, which could make the situation more complicated, because we men are solution oriented. A lot of us will go a very long time without receiving a compliment on our appearance, especially from other men. How difficult it is to receive validation on things you work hard on. Women will do their nails and have 15 people tell them how good they did. I'll rebuild a whole car and be lucky to have some guy tell me my car sucks. Not being trusted to be alone with children, or even your own, because of your gender. When you are abused by a woman, being afraid to call the police or seek help, not only because you fear you won't be believed, but that you will be labeled as the abuser, that when you get hit in the testicles, the pain is so bad, due to all of the nerves, that men have been known to pass out from the pain. IDK, it's treated as a joke, but it's seriously painful, and there's like a phantom pain, where you can feel it days after it has healed. Not having any kind of seasonal decoration is fine. Using the default background on your PC is fine. No drawings in your personal calendar / notebook / diary is fine. I mean, it sure looks nice when someone decorates stuff, but a lot of men don't take the time or just feel any need to do it. That generally men treat emotional intimacy like women treat physical intimacy. It's not something you do with everyone, only with someone that means a lot to you. Sometimes you're not in the mood, and it's kind of messed up if your partner keeps pressuring you to do it, and it's really messed up if you do it and your partner goes and talks about it with all their friends. When a girl gets a compliment, she will probably forget after an hour or two. When a boy gets a compliment, he will remember that for ages.